There was an active volcano inside the Callander Bay Heritage Museum on Saturday. Well, it was part of an 8-hole mini-putt course. And speaking of volcanoes, hundreds of millions of years ago, deep earth volcanoes erupted, which would eventually form Callander Bay as we know it today. That was one of the very cool geological facts available for consumption at the Rockin' into 2019 exhibit. The children-friendly event was hosted by the Nipissing Rock and Mineral Club.
But now volcanoes produce other rocks also. For example, this is rope lava.
This is a display showing how rocks become transformed and how they form in nature. We have a variety of things here. Pudding stone that started out as a very clean gravel with jasper pebbles in it. It's now what's called a conglomerate. We have a rock called a gneiss, which is started life as probably as a sandstone, and it underpins most of the North Bay area. We have a piece of petrified wood. We have rocks that float. We have geodes that were cavities in rocks that are partially filled with crystals, and we have Sudbury copper nickel ore. We have shales that changed to slate and then to phyllite. So it's a variety of things to help young people in particular understand a little more about the earth and be attracted to things in the earth. When you realize that everything that we have and make, if we can't grow it, we have to mine it. It's important for people to realize that. And it's fun to do.
Richard has a clever reason why children are so interested in rocks and minerals.
I think it's because their faces and their brains are closer to the earth than ours, than adults. So they're always very excited to see things like this.
The idea for this 2-day exhibit geared for children began way back last summer.
Back in the summer, we put together an exhibit called Callander Rocks, and that's currently on display here still. And then in the summer, they came along and they did a panning for gold and a metal detecting activity with us. And so people were showing a really big interest in rocks, and especially of this area. So we thought, hey, before the kids go back to school, let's get them in here for the last few days and have a complete geological adventure. We've got an 8-hole mini-putt course that takes you through Callander's history right up to the Newman mine in the 1950s. We have a cool rock table that shows rocks from those that glow to those that float to anything and in between. We've got a scavenger hunt going for some amethyst and some jewelry making as well. And together with the Nipissing Rock and Mineral Club, we've just put together this really cool, fun day over the last 2 days, actually, and it's been a hit. People have loved it.
From what I'm hearing, it's well intended.
Very much so, yeah. Of course, anytime you can educate kids about, really anything is fantastic. And rocks are just, kids love rocks, and and the club here is so passionate about rocks and about educating as well that they are just so happy to help us out, and they've done a wonderful job.